Hi guys, so I'm Cheyenne McCartney. I'm majoring in biology to become a medical microbiologist. Desiree and I are doing our presentation on separate but equal, so I hope you guys enjoy.
What's up, everyone? I'm Desiree Brown, and my major is psychology with a minor in criminal justice. And what I plan to do with that is become a clinical psychologist for at-risk youth or with criminals coming out of prison trying to get their lives together. So I hope that you enjoy Cheyenne and I's presentation and learned a little bit about us. Thank you.
The truth, unhappily, is that the trend for well over a decade now has been precisely the reverse. Schools that were already deeply segregated 25 or 30 years ago are no less segregated now, while thousands of other schools around the country have been integrated either voluntarily or by the force of law have since been rapidly segregating. The history of segregation in the educational system is that there was a case in Topeka, Kansas. There was a black third grader named Linda Brown, and she had to walk 1 mile through a railroad switch yard to get to her black elementary school, even though a white elementary school was only 7 blocks away.
Linda's father, Oliver Brown, tried to enroll her in the white elementary school, but the principal of the school refused because she was black.
Brown went to the NAACP and asked for help, and other black parents joined Brown, and in 1951 the NAACP requested an injunction that would forbid the segregation of Topeka's public schools.
Today, Topeka schools are among the most racially diverse in the country. People in certain communities may believe that equal funding will not have an effect on the students, that nothing would really change if public schools were all funded the same amount. At the University of Michigan, it states what people have said about the idea of equal funding in schools. An example of this is,
I, for one, do not think throwing money at the school is going to work.
In the article, State Funding for Public Schools, written by Bogart, states how public funding of schools would not be beneficial to the students. He gave examples such as,
some schools would be getting less support and less supplies than before. Also, that high wealth areas would now feel at a disadvantage due to receiving less tax dollars than before.
You can drop a school anywhere and try to expect integration, but with today's society, if a school is put in a rich neighborhood, the majority of the students that will attend will be white. And if you put a school in an urban area, the majority of students will be black and Hispanic. No matter where a school is placed, there should be equal funding for all public schools, so it is fair for everyone to have a good education.
What does fair really mean? Fair is free from bias, dishonesty, and injustice. The way that connects to having a fair education system is that it should not be based on the neighborhood you live in, because basing it off that would be bias.
segregation means the policy or practice of separating people of different races, class, or ethnic groups, as in school, housing, and public or commercial facilities, especially as a form of discrimination. Segregation is happening in our education system because it is being divided by class and, in some areas, by race. Not purposely, but it is there.
An equal means a person or thing considered to be the same as another in status or quality. I feel that there should be equal funding for schools because we live in America, and America is founded on freedom and equal rights.
I am all for equal funding throughout public schools because I feel every student deserves a fair education and a chance to succeed, which takes money and resources.
I went to Central Valley High School in Spokane, and it was pretty diverse. The majority of students who attended were Hispanic and Russian, but we had diversity within our school. We had newer computer software and textbooks. We also had one of the best sports facilities in the school district, while other schools were not as fortunate as we were.
I went to Stadium High School in North Tacoma, Washington, and the majority of students were white, and we had minor diversity within our school. We had new books, new computers, and we were even privileged enough to have a parking garage. Compared to the lower class area on the other side of Tacoma, they weren't as fortunate to have what we had. Something that is new and making a difference is that in all Tacoma public schools, they are required to update their computer software every 2 years, and all schools are provided with a smart board. Even though these are two little things, it has made a big difference within our schools. All in all, the history of public education shows how schools were segregated in the past because of race and class. Well, today not much has changed. We are all equal legally, but in reality we are not. Call to action.
If you notice inequality in your neighborhood having to do with public education, see what you can do to help, whether it is fundraising for new books and computers or just volunteering your time to see what difference you can make. A question for you to think about is, what can you do to make a difference in your community?
Come on, come on. I see no changes. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor and even worse, I'm black. My stomach hurts, so I'm looking for a purse to snatch. Cops give a damn about a Negro. Pull a trigger, kill a nigga, he's a hero. Get it back to the kids who the hell cares. One less hungry mouth on the welfare. First ship them, don't let them deal with brothers. Give 'em